Hi everyone! I enjoy travelling, which is probably not going to be a surprise to you if you've seen my adventure vlogs before. You might also notice in my adventure vlogs that I travel alone quite a lot, which isn't something that everybody does, and that can sometimes be a bit of a scary thought for people. So today I just wanted to talk a bit more about travelling solo for any of you who are curious. I can't remember the first time when I travelled solo. I think it's when I went to Berlin 3 years ago, and that's actually a really scary thought to me. If the time that I first travelled alone was when I went to Berlin, because I don't even speak German, so that must have been really scary for me, but I don't remember being scared at the time. And that's maybe because before that I'd been on trips where I'd had to organise the travel and organise various things, but I met up with people later. So it was like I travelled by myself, but I kind of had friends there, if that makes sense. It was kind of a natural transition. I'd already organised a trip to Liverpool and met up with my family. I'd organised a trip to London and met up with friends, so it didn't really seem too scary to travel alone. But yeah, I'm really surprised I wasn't terrified when I went to Berlin, because I don't know German and I didn't really know anybody there. So I don't know why that wasn't scary to me. That should have been scary, surely. So the question I get asked as well when I'm travelling solo is, am I scared? And I'm not really afraid of travelling alone. The concept of being alone doesn't really scare me. I don't really mind being alone on a train or a plane or anything like that, and there's usually people around as well, so if I am feeling scared or I need any help, then I can ask them. When you're travelling alone, you're in a weird limbo of having to make a plan and not having to make a plan. You have to make a plan because you're the only person on the trip. So if you get out of the airport and you don't know how to get to the hotel, you don't have anybody to ask. You can ask airport staff and stuff, but it's really good to know for yourself what you should be doing next, where you should be going, what time you need to get to trains and things like that. But then you don't have to make a plan because you can wake up on a certain day and not really care about whether you wake up at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, whether you're going to somewhere down the street or somewhere at the other side of town. It's really freeing to be able to travel in that way and not really have to worry about anybody else. Not that I'm saying I have to worry, but sometimes even the question, what time do you want to wake up tomorrow? I like to just kind of wake up casually and not worry too much if I've woke up 20 minutes later than I intended to. When you're travelling alone, you get to decide how lonely or how social you want to be. Because you can have days by yourself where you're just kind of looking around, but then if you really want to talk to somebody and really want to spend time with other people, there's also trips you can kind of book yourself onto and kind of go on a day out with people. Most of the places that I go on holiday, there's other people around. It's not that I'm just by myself. It's not that I'm lonely in any way. I always have that option to talk to other people and kind of have the social element of a trip. So I really like that I can have moments alone if I want to, but then if I want to go out for the day, if I want to do something else, that's totally fine as well. I can do that. When you're travelling alone, you need to be thinking in two minds. So the first part of your mind should be thinking about the things that you want to do and thinking about all the experiences and everything like that. But then the second part of your mind should be acting as the person who isn't travelling with you. Think about things like, are you going to run out of money? Think about things like your personal safety. Don't get yourself into any dangers. I know it's very difficult to avoid dangerous situations, but ultimately there's things that you definitely can be doing to keep yourself safe. You definitely need to have your personal safety in the back of your mind all the time. So I hope that's helped to answer some of your questions about travelling solo. If there's anything else you'd like to know about travelling alone, or any tips that you have, any stories about travelling alone, please put them down below and I look forward to reading them. Thanks everybody. Cheerio. Thanks very much for watching everybody, and thanks especially to the people who joined in to see this as a live stream. That was so much fun. There's links around the screen for other content if you want to see it, and thanks very much for watching. Cheerio!